Hey everybody, it's Chloe Demir, Save the Victor Roll. How's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. It is another video from your older than average YouTuber here on the YouTubes. And today is part 2 of my Beautylish Lucky Bag 2025. This is the look portion. So we got half makeup, half skincare. So if you want to see us play with so excited, the Danessa Myricks Groundwork, Blooming Romance, plus a few other things, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. So part 2, so we did on Saturday as a bonus video because it arrived that day. We did the unboxing of our Beautylish box. For a quick recap, I didn't bring the bottle, but I have from Good Molecules. I have their hyaluronic acid serum, which is ready to be used shortly once I go through a couple other serums. We got the Auric Plush Ritual Recovery Lip Treatment. I wore it last night. I've just put on a little bit this morning. It's really, really nice. Would I pay $45 for it? Absolutely not. But I was really happy to get it actually in my box. This is the one item I was kind of hit or miss about, but I think I'm okay with it. I think I have been struggling a little bit because it's been dry. Actually snowed this morning. For a little bit here in Maple Ridge, but it did snow. So I do like the feel of it. So let's see if it does help my lip. If it does, now I might look to see if I can find another option that's a little bit more affordable, because usually I just slap on a lip balm, but this one I think had all sorts of healthy bits to it. So I want to say QQ10 or something to it. Maybe not. Or it could be looking at different. Oh yeah, it's a ceramide lip treatment. So it is not just a balm, so it has ceramides in there. So there we go. So we will see what we think long term, but right now I do like the feel of it. It's not too heavy, not too thick. You just push, like squeeze, you get a little bit on this end, you put it on your lips, and then you can use the nice metal side to smooth it out quite nicely. I like this packaging. It's very cute. There we go. We also got the This Moment Hand Care by Super Egg. I put it on this morning. It dries down really fast. It has, at first I thought it didn't smell anything, but once you put it on your hand, it almost smells, though I don't think that's the ingredient that's in here. Kind of gives me a light witch hazel kind of smell, which I like. So there we go. So we'll see how it works over time. Like I said, it was the first time I put it on. Dried like it. Not dried, but it went into the hands really, really easily. So you're not leaving a greasy residue, but you can still feel that your hands are nice and soft. So we'll see what this is over time. It has like QQ10 and a few other things in there. This is one that was mixing up with the lip thing. So I have been seeing my hands getting a little bit more old lady-like. So I thought maybe it might be time for proper hand cream. I was thinking about it, so it was kind of good timing that this came in the box. We also received a Sonia G brush, so we're going to test this out. I mean, it's $49. Apparently these are quite the brushes. It's not something that I would generally pay for, but it's super soft. I'm excited that it's in my box, so I'm so excited to give this a whirl. We got from Jouer this beautiful cheek balm blush that apparently you can also use for your lips, which is nice. It's a multitasking item. I had looked to see if I did keep the Jouer highlighter that I had gotten in a box a while back, but I had given it away because it was a bit too dark for me. I thought I could, maybe if I kept it, then I could do a couple of Jouer things, but it is what it is. And then, of course, the piece of resistance, because we've got 3, 4, 5, 6 items in our box, was the Danessa Myricks Beauty Groundwork Blooming Romance. So this is supposed to be for eyes, lips, and face. I thought it was all powder, but I was watching somebody else's unboxing and they got it as well, and they were very excited. They got it in their extra large box. Anywho, I'm just gonna take off a little plastic. And apparently one is more balmy and one's more powdery. And I think she said the bigger ones are balmy and the smaller ones were powdery. So let's see if that is the case. Indeed. So this one is definitely, this is super light, so you're not going to really see it, but it's definitely balmy. And the one next to it is a powder. So you could always use that as a base and then shadow over top. Again, when they're saying it's good for lips, eyes, brows, because at first I was like, lips, how is this going to be good for lips? I can see blush, I can see eyeshadow, I can see brows, I can maybe even see contour, but I couldn't. And then it was like, yeah, okay. I have been told. Apparently there's also been hit and miss with it. I know the neutral one my friend did not like, or it didn't didn't like her. Let's go with that. Everybody has different skin textures and different things, how they want things to work. So if she didn't like it, she didn't like it. And other people did like it. So it's, you know, but I hear it's the exact same thing with this one. This one has more lighter colors. The other one was neutral with more dark blacks and stuff. I've heard the same thing, that some people love it. Some people, it doesn't go for them. So I'm just like loving the smell of it. I could just sit here and smell this every 5 minutes. It smells really nice. So yeah, sweet, blossomy. So it's very nice. The cherry blossom. It's kind of a cherry blossom kind of idea. There we go. So, and then try to keep it a little bit. I'm not going to use the Danessa Myricks blush that I have, because it's orangey, because I love orange brushes. Oh my God, do I love orange blushes. But we're going to use this one here. But I thought we could use my face balm here. I love this, the Yummy Skin Balm. I love me a balm or stick foundation the best. Didn't notice that Fenty had one the other day. I was very tempted, but I got to use every single foundation I have before I buy anything else. And I even like the smell of this. It has the same smell, kind of almost like the Super Egg, but this one is the Upsolite that has that kind of smell, but I really like this. So I thought we could do a little bit with this and then just play with a few other things to do a full face. So we are going to do a full face of makeup together, but we're going to try and use as much of the stuff that we got from the box. So we have our lip balm on, we have our hand cream on, and now we're going to play with this. So we'll do this first and then we will finish the rest of our face. And then and speaking of things that smell really good, I dragged out a quad that I have of 4 of my favorite highlighters from Beautylish. So I thought we could maybe play with that and then some other things. So off we go. So I'm going to prime my eye. I'm going to use my P. Louise, even though there is some, what's the word? The balmy shadows in there, or cream shadows. If I remember, somebody said what the formula was and it went in one ear and out the other, what they named it. So if I find it, I will pop it on top in editing. If I don't remember that, it's got to be online somewhere. Okay, so we're just going to go quickly. I decided to pick a neutral one. I do have some pink eye primer, but not quite, but it's a more bright pink. Yeah, I think the 2 that I have are more bright pinks, and there's some lighter shades in here and some kind of purpley shades in here. So I just thought I'm not going to know what I'm going to do until I start putting some of this stuff on my eye to test it. So I thought I will use an eye primer, even though it is a little bit balmy. I even do that with cream eyeshadows though, because you want everything to get as the grippiest chance that it possibly can get. That's a wrong way of doing things. What is it? Makeup what does Robert Welsh always says? Makeup has something, or something has rules, but some rules can be broken, something like that. Or it has a theory. Makeup has a theory, but you can kind of play with the rules, something to kind of that effect. So, and then for brows, I thought I would try and use something in here for brows. Like I think that one may work. So I thought we could try and do, or maybe even that one. So I thought we could do some brows with this. I may even lay down a, or set maybe this with a little bit. We will see. But yeah, it's an all matte palette. So I'm going to try and do an all matte look. But if I feel like I'm missing a shimmer, we'll take a little bit of one of the highlighters on top. But I do occasionally like doing an all matte look. So there we go. So what do we want to do? Really kind of leaning towards this shade. It looks kind of like a darker raspberry maybe, and this is kind of a lighter raspberry. And then maybe we can do something pinker up front and then a little bit brighter for the inner corner. I like a matte inner corner quite a bit, so why don't we do that? So we're going to take this darkest shade here. Each set has a name, so each set of 3. There we go. I don't want to put glasses on. So we are going to start with the set that is called Bliss. So we are starting. Yeah, we're starting with Bliss. No, we are starting with. So okay, no, we're gonna go to Bliss, Lovesick, and then into. God, it's so hard to read just when it's black. Adorn. Okay, so there we go. So we are going to start with this kind of. I think this one look. You know what? Let's swatch. I can't tell which one looks. They both kind of look dark, but how dark do they look? So, and then remember, swatching isn't always good, especially when it's kind of these creamy ones. And let's try this other one here. Let's see which one looks a little bit darker. Yeah, so we're going to go with that one first. I'm going to take a little floofy brush here, and then we are going to go into that, oops, there we go, that shade right there. Sometimes the lighting makes things look a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to try the creamy side, and then we're going to see how that goes on. I'm hit and miss with cream eyeshadows. I don't like the one she has in the tube. I got a pink one. I made it work. I'd actually paid for it. And then I think, did I get in a box? I think the second one I got in a box. And then the second one ended up breaking and leaking. So I used it once and then I went in to use it again and the back had split. So that kind of made me annoyed. But that's, could have got crushed by something in my collection. So I'm not blaming that on Danessa Myricks. But like I said, cream formulas aren't usually my jam overall. And I didn't like those too much. Like I said, I have a video. I might have kept it. Might be somewhere on there that I made it work. I thought I liked it, but I did not because I never went back to it. So I've never tried one of her palettes before, so I was just very excited to try this. Out of the unboxings I've seen, like what I would have liked, one of the Lightworks with the shimmeries and stuff. I think some people got those in big boxes last year. I didn't really see that this year. And then somebody, I was watching an unboxing and she was like, oh, I hope it's not in there, but I forgot the Xenon came out this year. I already have it. And I was like, oh, wow, if I would have got that Xenon all black gray one, I would have loved it. But I do have the small one, so I don't need it. But I was like, if that one would have showed my collection, I wouldn't complain about it because I do like blacks and grays and silvers. But I've tried Natasha Denona before. I'm more of a fan of her small ones, so I am absolutely chuffed that this is the one I got. Not that I would have got upset, really, if I would have got the Roxa, because I liked the packaging. I thought the packaging was very pretty, but okay, so far, this is going on really nice. It is definitely way better than the stuff was in the squeezy tube, so I, right now, am really liking this formula here. And then let's take a little bit, I'm going to take another brush, and then let's make something a little bit more firmer, flatter. And I'm going to take a little bit of the powder that's next to it. So we used this one here. We can take that and see if we like set it with it, if that works, and see if, or if that changes anything or makes it more intense. So let's see. So let's just pat on some of that. Oh yes, it does definitely give you more color. So you can lay down the lighter shade, and if you like to leave it that light, you can leave it light, but if you want to make it a little bit darker, just pat the powder one next to it. Got you. Yeah, I didn't pick out a lipstick, right, because I wanted to use one of these because I'd heard about the bombingness, but we're going to use one of these as a lipstick as well. I think highlighter is the only real, like, highlighter mascara powder that I had to take from something else. So yeah, okay, I see this. Okay, so now let's go into that second one. So that was from the Lovesick. So we're going to go into that one now as the next shade and see how that goes. Oh yeah, this definitely does go on a bit later to start than the other one did. So I think I picked it in the right order. Because again, lighting can make a huge difference as to how something looks. So you can see a little bit of a difference, but I think the powder really was what you would make it look a little bit different. This definitely does go on a bit lighter. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add the powder on top. You might as well try to use as much as we can to see how we're liking the formulas and how it ends up working together. So I'm going to actually go back again into the dark shade from the first one and add even a little bit more, I think. Because with the light, like in person, it does, you can see the separation, but I think it's starting to look, at least on camera, that they're too similar. So I just want to do that. And I think like those new Lightwork ones, they have the bright colors, and I think but I think for the most part, I think Danessa Myricks does a lot more, maybe more everyday, because I do find that the people that lean more towards Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, though they like the specialty shades or whatever, they're definitely more Sephora shoppers, Ulta shoppers, where I'm more of a independent indie girl shopper. So you find more wearable everyday stuff in a Danessa Myricks, Natasha Denona, etc., etc. brands. But it's really pretty. Okay. And then we're going to use the powder of the other one to see how that affects the color of the one in the middle. And yes, it does the same thing. It makes more intensity. So I assume you could probably also use the cream one as a base if you don't want to use another base, or you just don't like eye primers. Some people think they don't work. I think they do work. And it also could be depending on your primer. I've had some bad ones, like anything that's kind of those hydro grippy. No, that's more for the face, isn't it? Anyways, I've had some that I've not liked for eye primers. I'm very picky. Like I said, I like more not too tacky, but really super smooth. And then sometimes if they're too tacky or too thick, then I think they can affect how the eyeshadow sits. But if it's a nice thin formula that has just a teeny bit of tack, that's how I like it best. I think that's why I like the P. Louise ones. All right, there we go. You might change the shape a little bit in a minute. Alrighty, so I'm just trying to think, do I want to go into the Adorn one or move to something lighter-y pinky? These mauves are really pretty too. So if I took this one, let's do the other hand. Did I want to go, or I think that would be too similar, I think. I think these ones are sitting closer to similar. So maybe we will go into Smitten. So maybe let's try that one, maybe this one. Yeah, and then once you've had the powder to darken a little bit, yeah, let's do that. So let's go into there. Yeah, that's better. So you just see a little bit different of a color. So this is the first time playing with this, so like first impression, so definitely we'll need to play with this more and then see what the wear for the end of the day is. If it's fine, I won't comment, but if I find that it breaks apart or something or does something weird, I will make that as a posted or a pinned comment on the bottom if it does. Alrighty, so now we're going to go and put the powder portion back on to set it, and then still give it a little bit more depth. And then for the inner corner, we were thinking of using the lightest pink that's in here. I'm just going to go right away into the powder side. This is definitely lighter than that, so I'm going to pop that onto the inner corner. And then we can work on how, if I want to shape the sides and what we want to do for the bottom. Okay, so bottom lash line. Let's do something a little bit darker. We're going to go into the Evermore. So that's in here. It's funny, when I hold it up here, it looks very brown, but then when I hold it down here, it has a little bit of a purple tinge to it. Very strange. All right, so we're going to take this shade there, and we're going to do that along the bottom lash line, see how that goes. Yeah, I can see why some people may not like this, and then I can see why people love this. I think I'm kind of in the middle. Yeah, I think kind of the pet peeve is the colors are pretty similar and go together pretty similar. So I think that is probably what the issue was. I guess I could, now that I've tried it, I'd be more than willing to look at people's reviews of this and see what the actual consensus is now that I've had a chance to play with that. So I might do that after I do this video, because I'm on my lazy day. I wasn't going to film anything today, and then all of a sudden I felt like playing with this palette, so I thought, why not? Let's do it. Just make this all easy peasy. If I don't edit it today, I don't edit it today. So now I'm going to go into the powder portion. That's all right. No, I think I really feel like this needs a shimmer though. Alrighty, so we're going to just leave that just for now. I might play some more with it, but I think we're going to play with the base. So the one thing I'm really liking about the fact that it's got kind of creamy, put a little powder, You're definitely not going to get, I don't think you're going to get any fallout anywhere. So this is one it's definitely safe to do your base first and then put this on, I think. Yeah, so I think I like that about this. So I think I am going to have some fun with this palette. I think this will definitely be a good, something for the office. Really do. All right, so let's just, to make space, move this into my drawer. And let's do our base. Sometimes I will use a primer when I use this, but most of the time I don't feel that I need to use a primer with this. And this is one that I love the smell so much that I only need a real little bit. I use this more for days that I want to do more even, just evening my skin out. Not minding if a few spots or whatever, color spots, because age spots show up. But you can get a lot of coverage with this if you want to as well. Definitely super buildable, but at like $50 for one of these. I love the first one so much. I did wait over a year, I think, before I bought another one. I was very weak last year, and I was with a friend at Sephora, and it was like they had her blush. I really wanted to when the blushes came out, and then it was like I'm like, oh, I'll just watch Teresa do them, and then they look so good. But it was really good. Didn't hit the trigger, and then I was with my friend, and she was shopping away, and then it was like, okay, I'm going to get one of those blushes. And then the shade that I really wanted to try was sold out, but then the one I ended up getting, I ended up loving so much. So I think that was the one I was meant to have. And then I thought, well, in for a penny, in for a pound, let's buy another one of these. And like I said, I like to wear these for the days where I just want to either really quickly run and go, not worrying about face primers, if skin isn't perfect, just to be really light and easy to go. So as you can see, this is a really nice formula. Really like it. It has the Upsolate. It's supposed to be more, I think, for people. The Upsolate thing is supposed to be really good for people with really oily skin, so they don't get dry in the T-zone. I have very normal skin, and this still works for me. But like I said, I don't need a primer for it, and sometimes I don't even powder it, so I might just at the end do a buff. I did bring a powder. I really like my Nikia Joy there. It's supposed to be like it's a velvet brightening powder. I think more people use it for under eyes, but this and the Fenty Lavender one I really like because they're brightening and they work really well on pale skin that can lean a little, sometimes a little pink, a little red. Though I can wear neutral based stuff too, so I don't know, maybe it's just a thing of being super pale. Okay, so there we go. Now let's play with our blush. So I did, or did we, hold on. Yeah, we can do brows last. Oh yeah, we're thinking maybe we can try contour or bronzer with this too. Do we want to try that? Maybe, see if we can do a little bit. I just have a feeling they'll be too dark for me. Yeah, I think so. So let's not, we will do lips though with this. So we are definitely going to use just our blush here. We don't need a bronzer or anything bronzed or whatever. Let's keep it super simple today. Like I said, we'll do a little bit more with the eyes. I definitely think it needs a liner. So this is the color here, which I think it goes pretty good. Whoever packed this, maybe they were thinking, going, these kind of purples would go kind of with this blush. Let's do it. So I'm going to start one side with just the brush. I'm going to do the other side like I normally do with a sponge, and then see what I like better for this. And sometimes I do a sponge and then a brush, so it all depends on the formula. Okay, so this is very pretty. It definitely goes on nice with a brush. It is a little bit darker in person. The lights are a little bright today because it is pretty dark. So I had the lights a little bit brighter so I can see what I'm doing. So let's take a little bit on our sponge as well. These sticks, I don't like to put them directly to my face. I know some people do, but most of the time I do not. So let's see what we like with the sponge. I think either way works. You can use a sponge with this, you can use a brush with this. I think they both work fine. I think I might even slightly prefer the brush, which is weird for me. once I figured out how to really use the, not that I've ever owned a beauty blender, but beauty blenders type thing, the sponges, it's hard to go back to brushes for things. Nope. Actually, I'm going to put the security lid back on this. I like the fact sometimes I'm a doofus and then I roll things up too high and things get stuck. So if I can just roll it down and pop that up, this thing has a better chance of surviving me. All right, so I'm going to pop a little bit more here, a little bit more here. And yes, I do have, what are they calling it? Blush blindness? I do. I do. Sorry. Not sorry. Alrighty, so there we go. That is a very pretty blush on. But we are going to do a brows. So first I'm going to go and lift them up here. I'm more, well, I'm mixed between pencils, pomades, and powders. If it's a really good powder, I will prefer a powder. But other than that, I'm definitely maybe more of a pomade. You can just stick your thing in and go and be done. But let's try a little bit of, we're going to do this one here to start. And let's see how that looks. Should we do that? Okay, let's try the pomade part. I'm just going to pop in a little and see how we do on the more cream and see if you like that. If that works. Oh yeah, we got some color. I think it's a little bit too light, I think. So we're going to go into the darkest one, and that is the one that is, what is this? XO. Oh, that's cute. The XO. Let's try that instead, because I think this is more when I have my natural hair color. It'd probably work a little bit better. A little bit. A dirty blonde in real life. I don't color my hair, but I don't like it. I've always hated my hair color. Mom loves it. I hate it. So I rarely have my original hair color. Sometimes if I've had a big mess up with my hair, then I'll cut it short, grow it out, and then go back to recoloring. Actually, for a while when I had my natural hair, when my godson was really little, my friend used to always get mad because she's got black hair, and her son has more my natural hair color. So we would go out and people would think he was my son, and then she'd get all mad. He's like, "But he's my kid." I'm like, okay, I'll. But she did look like him. It's just the hair color. But, all right, and then we're gonna add. Oh yeah, it's not too bad, I think. I think you can tell that I had a little bit of that other color in here because this one's looking way better and this one's got a little bit reddish. So I'm going to use a little bit of the powder on top and see if we can repair that. This definitely could be a palette to take with you because you can have brows here, you can have your eyeshadow. You can use this for blush, I would assume. It says you can. So if these are the right colors for you, not too bad. The red is still popping through a little bit, so we're going to go one more time into the darker powder shade. Okay, there we go. They are sisters, not twins. There we go. All right. So before I do lips, mascaras, and eyes, let's just play with a little highlighter. So Bitter Lace, I wish I want to at some point buy some more. These they absolutely smell so delicious, and these colors are so beautiful. I like crazy color ones, but we're gonna stick to the peachy pink one for our look here. But I still feel like the eyes need something going on, so let's just do that. I'm gonna have to do a buff because this highlighter is insanity. Okay, we're gonna do a light buff. I'm actually gonna use my Asian skincare powder. I really like this. It's very light. There we go. So I do want to do more with the eyes. I really do. Before doing on the lips, I think this does need a liner. So I did bring two. Do I want to do a smudgy liner or a regular liner? Let's do a regular liner because if I had do have brown ones that I could smoke out. Now we're just going to do a regular liner. So I just grabbed this one that I have from Juvia's Place. And let's do that. It really does feel like it needs something. I think it's because I'm used to indie makeup and then usually brighter colors. I don't do stuff too neutral too often. It's generally I go to the office type thing. Yeah, there we go. Need a little bit of that. A little mascara. Yeah, I have to say I do miss having, for this kind of color look, I got too much mascara on the bottom. I feel like I need a shimmer. And I forgot to use our Sonia G brush. I'm a numbnut. Okay, hold on one second. All right, I forgot to use this. That's stupid. Alrighty, let's get ourselves, yeah, we definitely needed a little bit of eyeliner, but I just want some kind of shimmer. So we can use this. Let's dip back into here, and then we are going to use let's do the purple. Let's take a little bit of the purple and pop that on the outer lid. So we're going to use that. Why didn't somebody tell me? Somebody yelling at the screen, you're not using your Sonia G. It's going on darker than I thought it would. Okay, we will. Okay, I have to admit, this brush feels absolutely amazing on the eyeballs. I have now turned our look into a purple look. Oh well, there we go. But see, I can't live without shimmer. What can you say? What I'm going to do is, since I've already kind of screwed that up, I'm going to just match the other side, and then I'm going to go back into the palette and bring some of the other colors back. But let's do this. Yeah, this is definitely, as Wilma would call it, a daywalker palette. Or maybe color adverse people. I think that palette, yeah, no, okay, I can see why people like this. Color went, like the highlighter went on like super intense. Like, see, this has got color, but how it shears out, this definitely packs in color. It feels super nice on the eyeball. So I'm kind of seeing why people are liking her brushes. I'm thinking that it could cost like $200-300 for an eye set. No, thank you for me. Size poor. All right, I'm gonna go back into one of the darker shades. So let's go into the first shade that we used, and I'm just gonna put that back on the outer edge a little bit. I think I'm gonna go straight into the powder portion now. And on the front, I'm going to add a little bit. Yeah, see, this really does add a lot of color. This is good. See, if I would have used this right away, it feels really good in the hand too. It's light, but I don't like brushes that are too heavy, but I do like to feel like there's something. So it's kind of the right at the end. You can kind of feel like it's got a bit of something, but it's light so that you don't feel that you think that your hand's gonna get tired. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna go back into one of the, yeah, let's go back into this one, and then I'm gonna bring that back up front. Okay, that does, it's gonna become a favorite brush. Okay, there we go. So now let's do something for a lip. I didn't bring a lip brush or something. Do I have something I can use as a lip brush, or I'm just gonna phalange it? Now let's phalange it. Okay, I want to try this one. Yeah, so this is the one from that I was going to use at first from Adorn, but I thought it might read too similar. Let's see if that works on the lips. So I'm going to go into the soft squishy and see how that goes on the finger. Yeah. And I think it's the wrong color for the look. So let's finish and we'll put another color on top. I think now that we went super heavy with the purple highlighter for some shimmer, I think, yeah, that is a pretty color. Okay, so So I think we're going to go, and we're going to now dip into this lavendery shade here. That one is called, this is going to be a longer video than I thought, just for doing this a little bit. Oh, Jesus. Allure. I'm an old lady. What do you want? I can't see anything. Okay, so go into that. Yeah, lip brush probably would have been better. I don't want to like hard pan anything. Maybe I'll still do it. Let's do it. Let's find a brush here. Kind of flat. Make sure there's nothing on it, and then see if that goes on better. Yeah, you definitely can't put two of these shades on top of each other. Yeah, so I think definitely once you pick a color to put on your lips with this stuff, that's the color you get. I'm going to try maybe a little bit of the powder over top, seal it with that. Yeah, I think I toned it down a little bit so it looked a little less raspberry, so it just gets a little bit, matches more the outside there. So there we go. So what are we thinking? Like I said, I normally really like matte. I do matte looks, but I think for this color story, for me, it did need a little bit of a shimmer. Still have to play with this a little bit more before I can do kind of final thoughts. So again, I'm right now at the point where I can see why people liked it and I can see why people didn't like it. Kind of half and half. But at the moment, I'm liking it. We will see how it goes. I'll have to play with this some more. Now, I really liked this blush. This was super, super nice. This Sonia G brush. Oh my gosh, yes. This disperses color like nobody's business. So this is great. So that was a win. This was a win. These two are a win. I know the hyaluronic acid is a win. I've used it before. And this palette, I do like it. I think this is definitely a day walker palette. So for simple everyday looks with just a little bit of color, I think this is good. I think you definitely could use these as a blush as well. Maybe, okay, let's just add a little bit more blush because I did say I have blush blindness. So why don't we go into that shade a little bit before I finish off here. And I'm going to use it on a brush. And let's see if we get any additional color on here. Oh, we do. There we go. Yeah, so definitely this works. Oh, yeah. Oh, hello. Okay. Hello. We like you. It's pretty close enough to the other one, so it doesn't look like I'm wearing two blushes. I don't think it's just a little bit more on the apples, get a little bit more color. Okay, so there we go. So definitely like it as for blush. Definitely like it for the brows. I think as a lip, it's feeling really nice. Even a little bit of powder. It's like I feel like I have nothing on my lips, so that is good. So yeah, I think this is a multi-use palette. Again, I'm gonna play a little bit more with the colors in the formula and see, but I'm gonna say jury is still out on this one. But I like everything else that I got. So there we go. Here's my day off. I'm not going to do anything with hair or whatever. This is what you're getting today. So if you like this video, please give a like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe even hit that notification bell. If not, that's okay. We can still be friends and play with new things together. As always, behave, make good choices, and we'll talk to you soon.